The VOA recently aired Boko Haram footage that had never been seen before. It's made an incredible impact here and in the region. You're now going to see from that video, excerpts from that video, including an NPR interview with Ibrahim Ahmed, the reporter who broke the story, Mariam Bugaje, host of VOA Hausa's popular youth call-in show, is here with us today, and we'll give you the story behind the video afterwards. So here is the video.
Now, a rare look at life under the rule of the Nigerian militant group Boko Haram as filmed by the group itself.
Last year, Voice of America News Service, which is funded by the U.S. government, received a stunning trove of videos from Nigeria. 18 hours of footage recorded by Boko Haram's own cameras in 2014. The pictures come from northeastern Nigeria. Now, at the time, Boko Haram had total control of the region. The videos take us behind Boko Haram's assaults on the Nigerian military and into villages where their leaders administer rough justice. VOA has produced a series of 4 reports based on the videos. And joining me now to talk about what we can learn from these images is VOA's Ibrahim Ahmed. He hosts a weekly program for their service broadcast in Nigeria. Thank you for joining us.
It's my pleasure.
In one clip, there is a tribunal where they exert their justice. How do these tribunals work?
Well, in order to control the people, when Boko Haram captures a place and they want to bring people in line, they will hold these kind of tribunals and they will force everybody from the village or the town to attend the tribunals.
A judge leans down, asking 3 men if they accept Boko Haram's finding of guilt for drug dealing and a penalty of death. Lying on the ground, he points his index fingers at the sky and prays, a final gesture that many Muslims believe will open the gates to heaven. From behind, a man with an AK-47 approaches, points the gun at his heart.
Sun bi musulunci ba ƙa'ida ɗaya na musulunci da suka bi shi.
Khalifa Aliyu Abdul Fathi is the leading Sufi scholar in Maiduguri, birthplace of Boko Haram.
Sun kashe mata, sun kashe yara ƙanana, sun kashe wanda ba ruwansu, sun kashe Kiristan a cocinsu, sun kashe su a gidajensu.
In Madala, they bombed a Catholic church on Christmas Day. Then in 2014, an act that brought global condemnation, kidnapping 276 girls from a Chibok school, most of whom remain captive. Shekau, the group's leader, said the girls shouldn't have been in school. God instructed me to sell them. They are his properties and I will carry out his instructions. Fighters assemble, rifles and RPGs at hand. Many are young men conscripted from their villages to join Boko Haram, some barely in their teens. Commanders address them in Arabic and the local Kanuri language, preparing them to kill and to be killed. There is shooting, then confusion. But since the spring of 2016, a renewed offensive by the Nigerian military recaptured dozens of towns and villages that had been under the group's brutal control. General Victor Ezugu commands troops in the region. He said better intelligence and airstrikes are targeting Boko Haram camps, but there is more to do.
We've done about 70-75% of the job. They are operating in bits and in little groups.
Now in Bama, street after street stood empty, buildings torched as Boko Haram fled. the Emir's palace, where the local chief and leaders once met to welcome visitors.
Apart from the mosque, every other thing was gone.
The legacy of destruction is the same in other towns Boko Haram abandoned. Until they can be rebuilt, there's nothing for anyone to come home to.
7th May attack.
Across the northeast, nearly 2 million people were forced from their homes by Boko Haram. Some now live with friends and family, but many are in camps scattered across the region.
Voice of America has already exposed Boko Haram's truth in 20 languages and still reaching for more.
I co-host this youth show that focuses on countering violent extremism in Hausa-speaking regions, particularly Nigeria, Niger, Cameroon, and Ghana. And on this platform, we touch topics that are considered taboos or usually media no-go areas, because these areas are usually quite conservative. So we talk about issues like illegal child marriage, contraception, all these things that are considered sensitive in nature. Talk about it so we could get the conversation started and hopefully make a positive impact. So when VOA got this clips, videos, it generated a lot of interest. People were asking, why VOA? Why does VOA only has it? Simply because for many years, Voice of America has established itself as a credible news source, providing fair, credible information around the world in places where it's hard to come by, in different languages, in objective manners. So when we got these videos, it took many months to go through it. Verification, matching satellite images, even traveling back to the areas where we thought this occurred. And also we met displaced persons who were able to identify some of the places and the events that took place in these videos. In the coverage of Boko Haram conflict, VOA has been at the forefront. For example, we helped expose a lot of the corruption that took place in the Nigerian army, where they were sending soldiers to fight Boko Haram with few rounds of bullets against Boko Haram, much more sophisticated weapons. This enabled them to gain notoriety, as we see in this video, was committing the atrocities that claimed many lives. In 2014 alone, Boko Haram killed more people than ISIS alone. We were also did a lot of programs that focuses about abduction of the Chibok girls. We also did raise awareness on the plight of the displaced persons, where women were trading their bodies in exchange for food. So we get all this information rolling, so people have this trust in us. Over the years, we've created that relationship with them. We give fair, neutral, objective news that enable us to get information to provide this kind of groundbreaking report on Boko Haram. The reaction has been mixed. A lot of people in the past used to think Boko Haram was just political propaganda. Some people even thought they were spirits because nobody has seen videos that show the ordinary lives of these people other than propaganda videos. And the dissemination, it was spread across multiple platforms, TV, internet, where it had seen 10 million views on the web. And just last week on my show, Yoda Gobe, we aired it on radio, where you have to know till today in this area that Voice of America Hausa service serves, people still rely on the radio to get their information. So a lot of people do not get to have that to see what this report showed. We had our affiliates, they picked it up. the Channel TV in Nigeria was able to air the 4-part series, and that also got a lot of viewership. So the impact reflected on these clips has been mixed, which we, on Yodogoba show, we air a lot of the views and feedback that we get from people. When we were putting out people's responses, we did not just care to just put only the positive side. We mixed them all up to create the general audience views. And that also got feedback on that the next day. People were amazed that we were airing some negative comments that were talked about. And that showed that we were not afraid to be honest. We were not afraid to be honest, to put out this information out to the world. One listener in particular said, VOA, you have become kunzamo babbar guga mai cika tulu goma, meaning you've become that one source that feeds the needs of many. So, and also maybe, well, okay. So for as long as VOA's mandate remains to inform, influence, and spread democratic values around the world, VOA Hausa will continue to be a beacon of countering violent extremism in these areas it serves with American support. Thank you. Thanks, Joe.
I just really have to emphasize the courage of Ibrahim reporting the story. He really went back to each of those villages, confirmed what happened, he was living for weeks with Boko Haram chasing him, sleeping in a different bed every night for how many weeks?
He was there for 6 weeks?
6 weeks.
Yes.
That's how close to the Boko Haram he was willing to get in order to get this story out to the people of Nigeria. Now it's been seen by millions of Nigerians, and they really understand just the wickedness of Boko Haram. So thank you to our Hausa service at Voice of America.
Thank you.